What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the Brody Bro P Kid.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us, rocking with us. It's your boy. Just wanted to get on here and really talk about a conversation I didn't think we'd be having this year. Now, maybe it's a good thing that we're having it at the very end of the year, but a conversation nonetheless that I did not believe we would be having this year. The news came out today, if you missed it, that Zach Lavine, due to health and safety protocols, will miss several games. Now, we don't know the extent of the health and safety protocols. You know, they have very different variant. We don't know if he was around somebody who might have had COVID. We don't know if he was around somebody who might have just been sick. We don't know if he simply has a cold himself, and all they're waiting for is a negative test to say that he can go back onto the court once he's healthy. We don't know what the extent of the health and safety issues are, and based on what I saw, I didn't see any updates. Kid, did you see any updates on why he was out?
I've been stalking it for a minute. I haven't seen anything. I'm actually checking now just to see what that situation is. It's sad, man. It's sad that I thought he looked a little gimpy yesterday. So I wonder if it's more of but health and safety protocols.
Health and safety. If it was an injury, COVID, I would think that's been COVID more of the year. If it was an injury, I would think you would announce the injury more so than anything. We're not going to be on here a super long time. We just wanted to get on here because I didn't have time to sit down and edit this out, and I figured that this is a conversation we need to have sooner than later. But yeah, I mean, are we at a point where you believe, because listen, we all know what the rumors are out there. We all know Justin in the chat was good, Breeze family. We all know what has been said out there. Make sure y'all liking the video up. Subscribe to the page. We talk Chicago Sports Weekly about the Bulls having an opportunity to get the fourth pick. I believe it's an 8% chance. 8%. But if the Bulls, I believe it's an 8% chance. If it was 7%, I might feel better about it because apparently the Bulls and 7 are synonymous. But I believe it's an 8% chance of the Bulls getting a top 4 pick and retaining that first round pick. And so the question is, are the Chicago Bulls tanking? Is this at a point where the Chicago Bulls are either in their plans to tank, or you believe that they actually are just like, you know what, Zach's hurt, or Zach's going through some things. We haven't figured out this rotation. We have an opportunity to add a piece that either you draft somebody who becomes a piece of the future, or you trade for somebody with that first round pick that could be a piece of the future. Is that where we're at? Kids, your thoughts?
Just doubling back on what we introduced it with. It was officially reported as a COVID test. Doesn't necessarily say he has COVID, but could be something that someone he was around, as that would imply. So,
right.
That official report, just so people are like, no, that's not what it is. I'm glad you know right now. Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times reported it. So, so guess what? You go blame that guy. I'm just looking at the situation of, how many games that he would miss. If he's out for the full 2 weeks, that's 8 games.
Right.
The teams that we're playing against in those 8 games, it's 50-50. But the interesting thing I would say is, with Vooch there, with us having an all-star there and having still having pretty good talent around him, I don't think that we have to tank necessarily, but I could see the logic behind it. As a 10th seed, us playing trying to get into the playoffs now would be just a first round exit.
Yeah.
Unless we play against Philly at full strength. If we're at full strength, which I think we match up well against. But outside of that, if we have to play the Nets or something like that, that's a first round sweep. So I could see AK not really wanting to put his star out there, or Billy not really wanting to put Zach out there too early if it's more than just health and safety protocol. I could see that happening, but I really wouldn't I don't get. I don't think they're trying to get a fourth round. I mean the fourth pick. I really don't. I really don't. I really think that they've done enough right now, and they're just trying to develop what they have. They have a good team. Like we have a good team now. Like we
Yeah.
really do, and we just need them to gel. But we have the pieces for us to compete. I really do feel like that. Like we're maybe one potential All Star away from having a real serious chance of going into a deep playoff round. But we can compete right now.
Now, and listen, this is not me saying, this is me asking a question. And I agree with what Kid is saying there. I see Sean. I love you guys, but this makes absolutely no sense, especially with the pick only being top four protected. Now, here's the thing, though. AK moves differently. He's not thinking like we are. AK's thinking, how can I get this team not to the playoffs? That's nice. AK trying to build a championship roster. His job is to build a championship roster. His job is not to build a playoff team. We've had playoff teams. Derrick Rose is one of my favorite teams that will ever exist. It's going to be one of my favorite Chicago Bulls teams to the end. That's at its best an Eastern Conference Finals team. AK is looking at that. AK is looking at what he has on the roster. We saw him just be like, well, Gar couldn't pick nothing. Let's get all of that out of here. He's trying to build a championship roster. With trying to build a championship roster, the mentality changes. And so that's why I come on here and I ask the question, are the Chicago Bulls tanking? Because when you think about what would make sense in a season that, in all honesty, the play-in game would be very interesting for the Chicago Bulls, right? And I think it gives you a little bit of that playoff feel, a game seven. I would say, honestly, it's going to give you a game seven type feel. If you think about it, think about the one game play-in game for the world or for the MLB's playoffs. One of the most fun moments in sports. One of the most entertaining games in sports, right? And I think they've switched that to a 3-game series. I don't know if they kept that. I know they did it during the COVID year. I don't know if that's going to translate to this year. But when it was a 1-game series, one of the most entertaining games in sports. Because every pitch matters. Everything you do in that game matters for you getting to that next round. So I think that them being in the play-in game gets them to that next round. Don't think I'm coming on here saying I want them to tank. By the way, make sure y'all liking the video. But if we're thinking logically on this, whether you think there's a player coming out in the draft or not that can help this Bulls team, the Bulls got the 4th pick last season. And they were kind of in this same position with no play-in game. I think they finished the season, 11th or 12th? Not too far from where they are now. They're only 3 games better than where they were last season. And so it's not out of the realm of possibility to believe that the Bulls could get a top 4 pick. Do I think that it's the longest shot you're going to play? Yeah. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. If Zach does miss those 8 games, like you said, what would that leave him? About 11 games left to play in?
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. I didn't count that many games would be left. I should have done that, shouldn't I?
That's all right. That's all right. I believe because I think we've got 18 games left. It'll be somewhere in there, maybe 10 or 11 games, something like that. And I see Jeremy talk about we got lucky to get the 4th pick. Hey, all getting a first round pick is lucky. It's literally a lottery. That's the whole point. But if you're making that move, if you're trying to make a championship move, sometimes you got to take big chances. Go ahead with it.
It's 18 games. And I tell you what, if he misses 8, that gives him 10 left. Yeesh, we got some tough. I would say if he misses the next 8,
yeah,
we might be able to split a couple of these. So, for instance, we got the Grizzlies tomorrow. It's probably winnable. The Cavs, I feel, is winnable, although they're going for that play-in spot too.
Yeah.
I've lost faith in the Celtics, but I'm not going to describe them as a good team. But I feel like we can play against them well because they don't have a formidable big man.
Right.
We got the Cavs again, so let's just say we split that one. We got the Hornets, who I feel like is a dub. We got the Heat back to back. I feel like we can split that. We got the Knicks. and Bucks. Mm. Hawks. Yeah. Sixers. Yeah,
it doesn't get easier.
it doesn't get easy. We played the Bucks twice. We played the Heat twice. We played the Cavs twice. We played the Hornets twice. I say Hornets twice. Yeah, we played the
Yeah.
Hornets twice, and we played the Sixers in there. Yeah, it ain't gonna be an easy road.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. You know, like you're more than likely in a position, especially with how the bench is, especially with how there's a lot of flux going on there, especially with a lot of the struggles that this team has had moving forward. Anyway, you're not going to get a point guard. Shout out to Angelo in the chat. You're not going to get a point guard before the season ends. Kobe White's not all of a sudden going to develop into the guard you hoped he was going to be. Saddle's not going to become significantly better to lead you on a run. Your team's issues aren't going to improve. And so, to me, I could see AK absolutely saying, look, we got an inclination that Zach's hurt or has been around somebody with COVID or he's sick himself, whatever it is. Because they have the option to really not put that out there. Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm AK, I'm saying, all right, sit him. Let him sit for the 2 weeks. 8 games are going to go by. Sometimes you got to take the player out of it. You got to sit him down and say, look, Zach, we're getting you help. But to get you help, let me tell you what a first-round pick can do for us. Whether it's a player that we think is a stud that's going to be a surefire player to help you next season, or it's a pick that we can use to get you a player that's already a veteran that already can make the moves you want to make, that's already in a position to help you get to the next chapter. We need you to take this. We need you to take this time off, sacrifice for a little bit, and next season, guess what? You'll be in the playoffs, and you'll be in a better position in the playoffs than you would have been this year.
That's a logical way to go about it. And you know what? If this was more, COVID, you can't do anything about. The health and safety protocols for that are what they are. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have had a choice but to sit him. So I mean
Right.
that is what it is. And so now we're really having this conversation based off the fact that if we're rolling with that punch, which way do we roll? And
Exactly.
Realistically,
Yeah, honestly.
and so I don't know. I don't know about us tanking for. Like I can't see that being in the play because I look at morale as a big thing, right?
Uh-huh.
You can't get Tice, Vooch, and all of them. I mean, they're coming from tough situations as it was. Boston's situation has kind of crumbled. They're still in the playoffs. They still ranked pretty high, but we've seen them kind of implode a little bit there.
Yeah.
Orlando, you saw what happened with Orlando. So with all that being said, I don't think they are tanking. This is realistically a way to evaluate your talent without your star player and just to see who's going to be there next year. That's what I would think it would be. More of a better way to vet who we keep and who we need to move the heck on from, as opposed to let's tank. Like I think they're going to put their best foot forward. I think Billy definitely is going to try to get, put us in the best position to put the right lineup out there so we can have opportunity to play in the playing game and make the playoffs while Zach goes through the protocol. But hey, evaluation season is the phrase for me for the entire thing. I now get to see who's going to step up now that Zach is done, and we have a certified big who can get me 30 and 11 like he did the 29-11, whatever it was. Hey, listen, who's going to step up now? Laurie, are you really worth this money you want? Let me find out these next 8 games. Kobe, you really want to play? All right, listen, let me put you in the game without you getting more turnovers than points. Let me see that. I don't see them tanking. I see them evaluating.
But this is the thing. Players and coaches should not tank and don't. If y'all think that, look at that Orlando team we saw last night. We know where they're headed, right? We know they're headed for the lottery. Due to a lot of injuries, they're headed for the lottery. But who made the moves to get them there? You think Steve Clifford stopped coaching those boys? You think that the players was on the floor and they was like, you know what? God dang it, a rookie's going to be the next thing that takes us off. The players and the coaches don't tank. Understand what I'm saying here. Your organization decides to tank. You're never going to go to your head coach and say, You might, maybe the head coach. Maybe you go to the head coach and kind of lay out your plan, just so that he knows what's going on. But you're not going to go to Billy Donovan and say, I want you to lose games on purpose. What you might do is say what you said. Hey, listen, we're coming down to these last 20 games. We have to figure out who our guys are. We have to figure out if Kobe White is a part of this team's future or if he's trade bait. We have to showcase Lauri Markkanen a little bit towards the end of the season because he's definitely up out of here. He's definitely on the way out.
And we want. I don't know if I agree with that.
Man, I think Lauri is catching the first train to Georgia.
Man, there's a good use for a 7-footer who can shoot and get me at least 8 boards.
Yeah, but not when he putting up 0 points.
Can't get a second unit. That's what he can be.
I'm just saying. I don't think. But also, Lauri doesn't want to be there based on his comments. Lauri's already said, I think I'm a star in this league. Well, there's room for debate. But it wouldn't be on Billy or Zach Lavine or Vooch to make that call. It would be on AK to come down and say, listen, I need you to play these players. I need you to find a way to fit them into the rotation. Don't stop coaching them. Don't try to lose. But I mean, honestly, if you put a game plan together with Kobe White, with Lauri Markkanen, with who else? Denzel Valentine. If you put a game plan together with them, you're more than likely in trouble on the other end. And so I could see as an organization, AK saying, look, it's a long shot. I know we traded our first round pick for Vooch, but if we get lucky, and listen, at the top of the draft, it's all about fortune. The Lakers got a top 4 pick 2 years ago in the same year they get LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like that's they did nothing with it, but that's what it takes to get up there. It's ping pong balls literally going around. Like it's fortune. It's whatever you want.
It's a tape. You know what? Listen, I respect it and I understand. For those who don't know, yeah, you're right. It's the executives. It's the organization decides ultimately where they're going to do. The GM basically decides what they're going to do. The GM they come up with a game plan and say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do, and they expect the rest of the organization to follow along with it. But I'm gonna tell you what. Every time you say Kobe White's name, my skin crawls.
We still trying to figure out if he took a girl.
You want to know why? You said, man, he can play. He has talent. He can do this. I'm not going to give up on this guy. Man, please. I saw that coming a mile away. Listen, when the guy could not when you have when you're not confident in your own handle, and it's clear you're not confident in your own handle, you look like you belong on export. Guess what? You don't belong on an NBA floor. Just don't. You don't look the part. One of these people shouldn't be here. It's always him. Like, I'm sorry. That's just what it was. So I firmly believe
for this season, I can't argue with you. But have I seen players have a horrible second season and come back and be played? Yeah, rarely.
Yeah, on a different squad. I've seen that happen. Get him the heck up out of here. Now here's the thing though. We just don't have the pieces to get to the finals. Let's be honest. Do you think Sato, Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen as your supporting cast can get you to the finals?
Yeah.
You think they can?
Do I think off of the bench?
Off the bench, you think they can get you to the finals?
Depends on what else you fill the bench with. I think. Listen, I'm not gonna go back on my statement. I think right now Larry's pissed off, but we've seen it.
Play pissed.
I think it's one of them. You know what? I'm done with this team. I'm done with what they bring into the table. I'm out of here. My agent gonna find me somewhere else to go. They don't want to pay me the money I want, which I don't think he's gonna get anywhere else either. But I think he's gonna
get his $80 million.
80? You think he gonna get $80 million? Dog, if he wanted
$20 million a year,
bro, if he wanted $80 million, they would have signed him. He wanted $80 million. He wanted Jason Tatum contract.
he's smoking, but
Look, listen.
he's
We know
smoking.
that.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know that.
nah,
But that's what he was asking for when the year started. He's looking for a Jason Tatum type contract.
nah.
But but there's the thing. I'm not going to go back on what I said. When Lowry's on the floor and he's healthy and he's aggressive and he's really engaged, he's one of the best power forwards in the game. I'm sorry, I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him dominate the dude on the other end.
You see how many things you said if he's engaged.
Oh yeah, and listen, every one of them matters because that's if he's healthy, if he's engaged, if he's hit. That's his whole career.
Right.
That's why he needs to be on the bench, but he wants to be a starter. And I
Yeah.
like Jeffrey's question here. What does tanking suggest? Who are we looking to get? To me, you're not looking to get a rookie. You're looking to get an asset.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Trade piece.
If you did get to a point where you're tanking, or the organization itself, AK's putting it in place to play the guys for an evaluation year, it's tanking. We can call it what we want to call it. If y'all would like me to put a prettier name on it, because apparently y'all think I'm saying Billy Donovan going out there like, all right, miss shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get a first round pick, you're looking to go get a solidified piece or a young piece that's already proven that he can play. I can see them making another trade with Orlando. Get the pick and be like, hey, you still want this pick though? Because now it's top 4. Let us get Hampton and Anthony.
They ain't gonna give them both up. I don't think they get rid of Anthony.
And look, I wouldn't. I saw what he did to Kobe White. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that first round.
Would you trade for Fultz though?
Trade for who?
Markelle.
Nah, because I didn't see a full season of it. I got to see a full season of it.
Hey, he looked good.
He was balling. He was balling, and I hope that he got it together. He looked like he had it together. Apparently,
I'd take him over Kobe White.
Apparently, the key to being a better player is cut your hair. Because RJ Barrett all of a sudden is playing better. De'Aaron Fox is playing better. You know what I'm saying? Elfrid Payton is balling right now. You know, apparently it's cut your hair. But I don't think I don't think you're tanking to get a rookie. I think you're tanking to get, and I'm not saying they are, but if that's the route you take, I think you're trying to get a piece.
Yeah.
You're trying to go get a young 25, 26-year-old point guard more than likely, or maybe just a younger piece to plug into where Larry was. Because maybe you still want Lonzo. Maybe Lonzo gets it done for you at the point guard position, and there's another young piece that I can put in to plug in where Lowry's production was supposed to be. There's a ton of options if you've got a first round.
Plugging in right there, Pat Will.
At the 4, I can see that, but then okay, you put Pat Will in at the 4. Who you got at the 3? You go out and you get a 3 for a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like there's options in that situation. I'm not saying that the Bulls are tanking. I'm saying that with Zach Lavine out, is this a route that they could be moving into? Because I mean, honestly, Vooch by himself with this team, are they going to win some games? Absolutely. He's a superstar. Let's say that. 25-11 in this league. That's superstar status. And he had the magic. He was putting the magic on his back.
Let's look at the flip side, though. Let's look at the opportunity to actually develop our rook. Let's look at the opportunity to really vet the new pieces we have. Facts. Really look at the opportunity to see what Larry is really going to do. Hey, listen, if we think Larry's out of there, hey, go ahead and give me the best 18 games you can, Playboy, because I'm going to use that as trade leverage because we got to get you up out of here, right? Hey, so,
that's a good one, though. Shout out Blizzy TV. Didn't De'Aaron Fox say something about get my son up out of Sacramento? Didn't his dad say that?
That was Bagley.
Was that Bagley? Oh, never mind.
Marvin Bagley.
Never mind. That's a good option, though. I would love a De'Aaron Fox in Chicago, no cap.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
And they might be interested, especially with the emergent. But we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? We're not on what we going to get. I'm just saying, what is the best option for the Bulls? And I really think if you've got 18 games left, if you just lost your superstar player, realistically, you're trying to get into the play-in game at this point. And that's it. You're not trying to get out of the play-in game. You're
Yeah.
trying to get into the playing game, and that's it. Is that great experience for this team? Yes. And I would rather see the Bulls in the playing game because I want to see Zach Lavine get that experience. I want to see Vooch get that experience. Two players that have never been in the playoffs. And I want to see the rest of this young team. Never been in the playoffs, bro.
Wow.
Two players that have never been in the playoffs. You need them. You need that experience for them. And I think the playing game will give you game 7 experience. That's more experience than you would have got just on playing the 76ers and getting the doors blown off of you. Although they
Yeah.
might compete in that one.
I want that matchup all day long.
Facts.
I want to see. I can't wait to see what Vooch does against Embiid.
Vooch
I
versus
really
Embiid.
want. I can't wait to see what he does because I don't think Embiid is going to be able to dominate him the same way. I can't see it. I don't think Giannis kills Vooch the same way as we can see in the chat. I don't think.
You know what? That's right. That's right. Did he play though? Vooch was with the Magic versus the Bucks. Did he play though? Because the Magic made the bubble last year, right?
I think he had to.
That's a good point, Tyler. That's a good point. My bad. That's a good point. I forgot about that. They made the bubble last year, right?
Take a couple minutes. I got it.
Oh, good. But I think I mean, honestly, if I'm looking at this team, and I appreciate the chat for keeping us straight. Because we definitely throw some stuff out there and we be trying to get it back. But
it was in the bubble.
He was in the bubble, okay.
He was in the bubble. And he was balling.
Yeah, they lost 4-1 to the Bucks. Okay, yep, okay. I appreciate y'all. For that. Hey look, and Mike Mills said Vooch killed the Bucks.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up.
And I'm just asking the question that what does this team what is going to be AK's mindset for this team? Not the players, not the coach. What is AK's mindset for this team moving forward? What is AK's mindset for this team going into that next round? Sonny out in Alaska. Shout out to you, my boy.
Now, here's an interesting thing about it. This is why I like AK so much. We wasn't even thinking about Vooch.
Dog.
We weren't thinking about
trade. We was talking about should the Bulls go get Aaron Gordon? No. Why would you get Aaron Gordon?
We was talking about everybody else. But all of a sudden, Vooch come through. I'm like, yo, wasn't even thinking about that guy. Yeah. Like, I didn't even think he was available. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, the way that he moved with it lets me know that the moment he said, I'm not done, he's already got something in the pipeline. It's just a matter of, hey, let's see what works. Let's see how the season ends. I got something else that's coming through. And remember, we still have another big coming over from overseas.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't discredit him. The boy looks good.
Boy looks good. Now listen,
boy looks good.
Nico Mirotic looked like he was going to be one of the most dominant players in the league.
Yeah, he's probably going to end up averaging another 10, 15 points a game just based off of what the trend has been for players coming over. He may not be a superstar, but he can definitely have the fundamentals and fit into a system. And so at that point, it's like, hey, I'm kind of liking where we heading right now. I like the way we just one good point guard away.
I agree.
One good point guard away.
But if you move into a position where you go get and look, a tank is a long shot. 8%. I don't like my odds there. You probably really got a better chance of making the playoffs through the playing game. But if you get that pick, the world is open to you. A top 4 pick in today's NBA. Who you want in the league? You got a conversation at a minimum. Based on the fact that you could get a top 4 pick. And I mean, I would rather see them get the experience, but listen, you gotta look at what AK might be thinking with his superstar players sitting on the sideline.
just as a quick reminder, Vooch was giving Giannis the business for the first two games. First two games was nice. And then he kind of like, I guess he came back to earth a little bit. What? No, because game four, he had 31, 7, and 31. He had 31, 11, and 7.
How
Looked like
often
he
is
was doing
Giannis on him?
everything. Okay. All right. Listen, we got a legit stud. How did I not even think about this guy? That's all I'm saying. Like, that's all I want to know is he wasn't even on my radar as trade bait. He really wasn't. So I really think we ain't finna sit there and tank. I'm not saying I think we're going to try to play in. If it works out, we get there. Zach's healthy. We're going to see what we can do. He needs the experience.
Yep.
Um,
I
but
agree. I agree.
I think, listen, we got Marco, somebody
Seminovic.
pronounce Seminovich. There you go. Uh, so Vooch, Marco, Pat Wheel, or Thad, whoever you want to interchange right there. Is that we just one good point guard away. And for those who keep saying Westbrook or CP3, we're not getting CP3. Like, how much sense would it make for him to leave the Phoenix Suns after getting them as the best records, top two records in the Western Conference? They like one of the favorites to make it to the at least the Western Conference Finals. He ain't leaving that situation. So let's be
Yeah.
realistic. Our ceiling is Lonzo at best for trading for someone at the
Yeah, and
point guard position.
they definitely not moving off of Russ up in Washington after this man been dominating. I want y'all to understand what Russ has been doing. Dominating. So for all the haters that was saying Russell Westbrook ain't got it no more.
Shoot.
And I had somebody saying, but Pat, you didn't want Russell Westbrook on the Bulls. I don't, because I thought Russ needed to go to a championship ready team.
Facts.
That boy, people got the nerve to slander Russell Westbrook for putting up too many triple doubles. Y'all hating on nothing. Y'all
I
hating
actually
on
sat
nothing.
there and watched one of them games. I felt sorry for him because he was dropping dimes and they were just not getting. I was like,
Not
he's getting a
knocking them
triple double with
down,
these guys, like
bro.
these dudes, not Bradley Beal, but these guys. And YBS, I know he's a free agent, but you gotta realize that let's logically think about the situation. We're in the West. We're in the top two in the West.
Yeah.
Player option or not, you're making good money. You're the top two in the West. You can actually compete. You have a team rolling. Come on now. Use your common sense. Anyway, I always wanted to do that for some reason. Anyway,
You're a wild boy. You're a wild boy for that one. It's
like
only
this is
certain
not
people
gonna
that
work.
get that one, but I like it. Man, we didn't want to hop on here for too long. High key, I didn't expect to go 30 minutes on this, but I mean, it's a good question to ask, in my opinion. It's a good question to ask, in my opinion. And so we just want to hop on here, man, really talk with y'all, and get y'all thoughts. Y'all been going crazy in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I see 98 people in here, man. I see 25 likes. So if y'all get them likes up for me real quick, before we get up out of here, we appreciate the love. Listen, let us know, man. Let us know, because the video's gonna post. If y'all want to rewatch, see, dissect our points, you know what I'm saying, and come back at us, we be in the comments below after the video post. So tune in with us on that.
Yo, real
Probably not
quick,
gonna be live for tomorrow's Bulls game. You said what, bro?
real quick.
Go ahead.
And this is just because it kind of just came out. I was. It's actually kind of a semi emotional moment. But
Oh, I was gonna bring that up. Thank you. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan being presenting for Kobe Bryant, dog, dog. What? Let me get your thoughts on it, man. Let me get everybody's thoughts on it. I thought that was special. I thought, man, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know who was gonna do it. I didn't even think that Mike would do it.
I think it shows us that Mike had more of a relationship than any of us really knew with Kobe Bryant,
Absolutely.
because I think that an excellent choice. I mean, who else would you really have picked? He really didn't. He really wasn't close. I don't believe he was close with his parents anymore, based on what we've heard in the media. I don't know if that's facts or not, but I don't believe that he was. I don't believe that him and Shaq were as close anymore. I think that they had kind of rekindled that relationship, but it became more of a, that was my boy back in the day. Oh, when I see you, what's good? How you doing? It's all love. You know what I'm saying?
He seemed to
Um,
have a relationship with Sharif, so I mean, it seemed like they buried the hatchet.
hey, I
Uh,
think they buried the hatchet. Absolutely. I just don't think that they was. Hey, yo, I'm in LA. You trying to kick it this weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't think it was. I don't think they were back to that. YBS said I would say Vanessa should have done it. Vanessa's probably the one that asked them. In all honesty, any decision that would have gone down um, is definitely getting run through her. And if it's not, somebody need to be slapped
yeah.
post haste. So I think it's a great choice. I think it gives us the opportunity to kind of peel back the curtain on Kobe Bryant and see somebody who was in that light, who was rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I like it.
I like that comment said Mike saw himself in Kobe. Hey, you know what? Listen, if I did
By the
something
way,
just
quick
for
side
kicks
note,
and
you know who
giggles,
Kobe saw himself in?
Mike.
Russell Westbrook. Anyway,
Oh, that's actually true. That's
I
actually
know.
true. Uh, but on a ending note with it, um, when you look at why Kobe did certain things, and you look at like some of the interviews he had, like he was really ticked about those first 2 years in the league about not really playing a lot and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When you really look at why, it's because he would have passed Mike long time ago on the scoring list.
He says it. He
He would have
says it.
passed Mike 3 seasons before he did.
Yeah.
And everything was really just a one up. Like their relationship was kind of cool. I really appreciate their relationship from the stuff that we've heard, and just the psychotic mind that Mike has to just compete at everything. So it's really interesting to see two alpha males be able to have that type of bond and the way it happened. Like Kobe saw him out. Like he ain't gonna tell me no. Like
Yeah.
like I'm a fixture. You're gonna have to deal with me. And
My
and like
favorite comment that Mike said was when he was like, he said Kobe would text him and be like, "Hey," trying to get advice on how to do stuff with his daughters and stuff like that. He was like, "Hey, when you was a kid, how were you working on your jump shot? How often were you doing?" And Mike was like, when I was a kid, I was trying to play Major League Baseball, so I wasn't working on it at all."
yeah,
Like that was my favorite thing. It was like, yo, like just their relationship, they dynamic, and you could see it. Like once you saw kind of Mike peel back the curtain on how close they were, you could instantly see it
yeah,
on like when you go look back at their games and the little things that they did, the little bitty relationships they had on the court.
yeah,
You instantly just like, yo, they was really boys. That's crazy.
yeah. It's a sad day, man. It's sad. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because it's like, man, I love to see this side of like we didn't get to see this side of Mike growing up. Right? So we didn't get to see the vulnerable Mike. We just got to see what Mike put out there on the court. Everything else was there. So now we get to see a whole different side of Mike, and it's because of Kobe Bryant. I just don't like the circumstances, but it's interesting just to be able to peel back that curtain on not just Kobe, but just on Mike too. So that's what's up. That's what's up.
I'm gonna still
I
stand on my
actually
stance that I never want to meet Mike though. let Mike live in infamy because I know he's an a-hole. But when
yeah.
you that good, you just gotta be, dog. At some point, you just gotta be. I look at Tiger Woods and I'm just like, same dude. Same dude.
I would actually like to meet Tiger, but anyway.
Dog, Tiger, a different breed, bro. Tiger has cut off almost everybody. He cut off his old caddy with a letter. Wrote that
Wow.
man a letter and said, "Hey, basically, it was fun what we had, but now it's over." A handwritten letter stamped Tiger Woods. So hey,
At
look,
least it was handwritten.
when you goaded like that, you gotta be a little bit of a, but it is what it is. But we
Hey,
appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. 82 people in here, man. Shout out to y'all, man. All the love to the Breeze family tuning in for us. We probably won't be. I won't be live for the game on Friday versus the Grizzlies. Got some business to take care of that day. I'll have to look and see. I don't have my iPad with me to see
Don't
when the
worry,
next
y'all.
game.
Check this out. I'm about to take this over. Go ahead. Me and Pat are actually going to be debating for the first time on here. He don't know that I was about to do this, but he can't cut me off unless he go ahead and do it right now. But anyway, and I'm calling you out right now anyway. So if you do it, the whole Breeze family will know you did it. So like
Let's
you see
get it.
that, that's a power move.
Hey,
You learn
look, this is
about
the
that.
whole announcement. I want to know what he finna say.
We are going to discuss narratives, man. Listen, instead
Oh,
of us doing this whole thing, we're going to introduce something I'm actually starting. I'm going to continue it on my page. Obviously, it's been posted on the Breeze Nation, but we're going to actually give you all a couple episodes of what this would look like if this was like Skip versus Shannon or something like that, just without the dumb takes, and stuff like that. I actually want to see what Pat got for me. So do
when
me a
the
favor.
pressure's
Go ahead and
on,
drop a couple
yes.
drop a couple topics in the chat that you want to see me and Pat go back and forth on, because guess what? I feel like I beat him in almost every debate we've had. I don't want to, except for any debate that's not revolved around the Bears. That's all I want to know.
Hold up,
'Cause,
hold up, hold up. See, this is the thing. This is the thing about you. This is the thing about you. You funny because you'll realize in the middle of the argument that you've lost the argument, but you'll double down and find another point that's still a good point for the other side. But halfway through, I can see it in your face. You be like, but let me give you this though. But let me get that's the hand right there. That's the hand when he know he wrong.
that's a fact. That's a fact. I tell you what though, you ain't got to bring up old stuff. See, you ain't
Hey,
have to do that. But
I'll
anyway,
try.
YBS, you ain't ready for this. Don't even worry about it. Get your Googles up. Anyway, I love doing it. But I tell you this, I want to do it at least one good time. I think we got to wear the suits at least one good time again. Rock the
Oh, is
suits,
that what we
debate
gonna
it
do?
out, and
We
just see
gonna go
what
all out?
happens, man. I,
We
I
gonna
want to
go
do the
all
full
out?
thing and let them know that we coming. I want them to know we coming, because guess what? They have you seen ESPN lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, listen, I'm going in on them. Cut me off if you need to. Like you can shut my mic off. Go ahead. You can
Listen,
do it. But listen, dude, they suck. They
and
are
that,
reaching for straw. Listen,
and
I have
and
never seen
FS1 ain't
reaches
much
this
better.
dog. Oh my god. I'm like, this is what they do for 6 hours. Like this is the whole show. Like this is. Oh man, listen, I'm disappointed. So I figured, hey, listen, if there's any opportunity for us to take that lane, it's right now. So guess what? Might as well see what happens.
Yeah.
What y'all think?
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. We're gonna get it in for sure.
See, now that I put it out there, guess what?
We
You
gotta
got to
do it.
do it now.
We gotta do it.
You got to do it now.
No, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with
Hey,
it
Pat
because
gonna cuss me out when we get off this live. He gonna be like, really, dog? Really?
no, because we had the conversation already, and I was like, yeah, we can do it. And you was just like, all right, and then we just never did nothing with it. So now, not only that, now it forces both of us to just be like, all right, pick a day.
Why don't we do it on the Contender?
We can absolutely do it on the
We
Contender.
started the second half on Wednesday, and we'll
We can
lead it into the Contender.
Yeah, we can absolutely do it on the Contender. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's
Do
go.
it. Let's
Let's
do it.
go. Hey, listen, we're gonna go live at least once or twice before next Wednesday. So y'all go ahead, send DM it to us, tweet it to us, whatever you can do. Let's
All
get
right.
those topics up. We want to have a nice little list of things y'all want to hear, so we go back and forth about it. And listen, the Contender is where we are looking to be a mainstay on. How the Contender works. Hey, listen, YBS, we are actually going to have more detailed instructions of where you can download it, how you can tune in. It is just more of an audio platform, but I guess what? We are working on just pretty much trying to find a way to keep ourselves going in case YouTube decides to do something interesting. So
YBS for how you use the Contender, man. Just click the link in the description below. I think I got it on this video actually.
should be.
There's the Contender desktop. Just click on there, man. It's basically gonna take you to the audio files. You're gonna get to listen, all that stuff. I think there's even a way where you can comment in on it. So they got some good stuff on there, man. But it's gonna be an app. Once it's an app, we're working on getting the app developed. Once the app comes out, it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope. Y'all gonna be able to rock with us a lot more, especially if you can't stick around for the entire show. I know. Listen, sitting here and ask you to look at your phone the whole time, and I'm not going to ask you to pay for YouTube Premium to keep listening. So if you can just sit there and listen to us on the go, you're gonna get the same audio quality. You're getting all the same stuff. You're getting the same crazy content, but an hour or two, we get to be a little bit more reckless. So if y'all want to roll through, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. And we got a ton of content coming for y'all. I got some Bears content coming, absolutely. Probably tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Kid, you got a couple videos in the pipeline, don't you?
I do. In fact, it's revolving around the Bulls versus the Sixers, which may not be. We'll see. We'll see how that works out.
We'll see where life takes us. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in as always for the Brody Bro Pettycast and Upper P Kid out in Indiana. And it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.